Hello Dallas Cowboys fans around the world, welcome back to the channel. And if you love Dallas Cowboys, make sure you subscribe right now and turn on notification bell so you never miss any big news, trade updates and draft rumors. Today we have very interesting story. It is about Dallas Cowboys possibly making a bold move in the 2026 NFL draft. Several trusted experts believe the Cowboys could trade up in the draft. And not just any move, they might jump ahead of the New Orleans Saints to get top defensive player. This is exciting, but it also raises many questions. Why would Dallas move up? Who are they targeting? And are the Saints really a threat? Let us break everything down here. We are now only 1 week away from the 2026 NFL draft. As the draft gets closer, patterns are starting to appear. Experts are studying teams closely and they are beginning to agree on certain ideas. Three well-known draft analysts have made similar prediction. Mel Kiper Jr. from the Entertainment and Sport Program Network, Danny Bugler from The Athletic, and Toddy Mache from The Link all believed something. They think Dallas Cowboys will trade up in the draft. Not only that, but they believe Dallas will move ahead of the New Orleans Saints to select top defensive prospect. When three different experts say the same thing, it gets attention. This is not just a random guess anymore, it is becoming a real possibility. First of all, you may ask yourself, who is the target? The main name connected to this situation is Sonny Styles. He is a linebacker from the Ohio State University. Sonny Styles is seen as one of the most talented defensive players in the draft class. He is strong, fast, and very smart on the field, and he can stop the run, cover receivers, and even rush the quarterback. For the Dallas Cowboys, this kind of the player is very valuable. Team has been trying to improve its defense, especially in the front seven. Adding a player like Sonny Styles could change everything, but here is a problem. Many other teams also want him. At the first, it looks like New Orleans could take Sonny Styles before Dallas has a chance. That is why people are talking about the Cowboys trading up. But when we look closer, things become more interesting. The New Orleans Saints recently lost Demario Davis in free agents. This is a big loss because he was an important leader on their defense. However, they signed Caden Ellis to replace him, and Caden Ellis is not a new face. He was already with the team before and knows the system well. He is expected to play multiple linebacker, especially on early downs. He will also have chances to rush the quarterbacks during the passing plays. In addition, the New Orleans Saints already have another linebacker like Peter Weller and Danny Statsman. These players will compete for the starting position. So, when you look at full picture, the New Orleans Saints may not be desperate for another linebacker. That means they might not be the biggest danger to the Cowboys after all. If it is not the New Orleans Saints, then who is the real threat for the Dallas Cowboys on this move? The answer is several teams picking before Dallas. There is strong chance that Sonny Styles will not even reach to the Cowboys pick at number 12. You know that Cowboys number 12 pick, it is their first chance. Teams like Washington Commanders and the Kansas City Chiefs and the Cincinnati Bengals and the Miami Dolphins could all select him early. Oh wow, this is not good, my friend. Each of these teams has needs on the defense, and if they see a player like Styles available, they may not wait. This is why the Cowboys are thinking about trading up. They do not want to take the risk of losing their targets. But also think about trade possibility. One team to watch closely is Cleveland Browns. They hold number 6 pick in the draft. Many experts believe this is the perfect spot for the Cowboys to make into. Why should Cleveland agree to this? Because many teams in this draft are looking to trade down. This draft class is very unique. They are talented players, but many of them play positions that are not considered premium. For example, Sonny Styles, Caleb Downs, and Jeremy Love are all target players, but they do not play quarterback or elite pass rush. Because of this, teams may prefer to trade down and collect more draft picks instead of staying on one spot. This creates an opportunity for the Dallas Cowboys. Why this draft is different this year? For the Dallas Cowboys, this is a question, of course, you can ask yourself, but think a moment more about this one. This draft is not like others. Usually, teams are chasing quarterbacks to top pass rushers early in the draft. But this year, the top talent is played across different positions. That changes how teams think. Instead of the fighting to move up, many teams are actually willing to move back. This is good news for the Cowboys. It means they might not have to pay a very high price to move up. And what should the Saints do for this situation? Interestingly, the New Orleans Saints could also benefit from this situation. That's what you have to know, of course. Instead of staying at their current position, they might consider trading down as well. By doing this, they could gain more draft picks and build a stronger team overall. So, while people are focusing on Cowboys moving up, the New Orleans Saints might be planning to opposite. So, what does all of this mean for the Dallas Cowboys? It means the Cowboys are in a very interesting position. They have a chance to make bold move and secure one of the biggest and best defensive players in the draft. But they must act carefully. There are many teams ahead of them, and the competition is strong. Trading up could be the right decision, but it will depend on timing, strategy, and how the draft unfolds. One thing's clear, this is going to be one of the most exciting drafts in recent years. What do you think, Cowboys fans? Should the Dallas trade up for the Sonny Styles, or should they stay patient and keep their picks? Let me know in your thought in the comments. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit notification bell so as to be with us in draft updates. Today we are talking about a very interesting and a possible shocking idea. It is about George Pickens, one of the most exciting wide receivers on the team, and a trade proposal that could completely change the future of the Dallas Cowboys. This is not just a small rumor, this is a move that could impact the entire direction of the team, especially heading into 2026 NFL draft. Let's break down everything step by step. Right now, most of the attention around the Cowboys is focused on upcoming draft. Fans and analysts are asking one big question. Will Dallas trade up in the first round to get superstar player? But while that conversation is happening, something else very important is quietly developing in the background. That is the future of the George Pickens. The Cowboys placed a franchise tag on him before a new league year started. That means he is guaranteed a massive one-year salary for the 2026 season. However, there is still no long-term contract. And that creates uncertainty because without a long-term deal, there is no guarantee that Pickens will stay with the team beyond this season. And sometimes when teams face that kind of situation, they start thinking about trade option. Now here is where things get very interesting. A trade idea has been suggested where the Dallas Cowboys would send George Pickens to the Baltimore Ravens. In return, the Cowboys would receive a first-round pick in the 2026 draft. Think about that for a moment. First-round pick is extremely valuable. It is not just about one player. It is about flexibility, power, and ability to reshape your team for the future. If this offer is real, many people believe the Cowboys should seriously consider it. Some even say it would be a very easy decision. At first, trading star wide receiver might sound like a bad idea. After all, Pickens was a part of the offense last season. He made big plays and he showed strong energy, and he proved that he can be a number one receiver. But football is not just about today, it is about tomorrow as well. If Dallas accepts this trade, they would again and gain something even more valuable, control over the future. With the extra first round pick, the Cowboys could have 3 picks in the top 20 of the draft. That is a powerful position to be in. What can be the draft strategy and possibilities for the Dallas Cowboys now? Now imagine this scenario. The Cowboys use 2 of their first round picks to trade up into a top 5. That would allow them to target a truly elite defensive player. Someone who can change the games, someone who can become the face of the team and the defense for the years. Last season, the Cowboys' defense struggled a lot. It ranked near to the bottom of the league. That is a big problem, of course, but with the right draft strategy, that problem can turn into the strength. After trading up, Dallas would still have another first round pick kept. That means they would still add another strong player, maybe a linebacker or an edge rusher or a cornerback. So, in one draft, they could completely rebuild their defense. This kind of the move is not just about numbers, it is about identity. If the Cowboys go in this direction, they are sending a clear message. They are saying we are building for long-term success. They are focusing on defense, they are focusing on depth, and they are focusing on creating a balanced team. Also, there is another important factor. A young receiver named Ryan Funoy is starting to show potential. His development could make Pickens less essential to the team. So, the Cowboys might feel more comfortable making this move. And what about George Pickens himself? Now, let's talk about Pickens himself. If he joins Baltimore Ravens, it could actually be a great opportunity for him. The Ravens need a true number one wide receiver, and Pickens could step into that role immediately. And there are also a personal storyline. He would get a chance to play against his former team, the Pittsburgh Steelers, 2 times every year. That adds extra motivation. Sometimes a fresh start can bring out the best in a player. Of course, there is risk and controversy. Not everyone will agree with this move. Some fans will say it is too risky to trade a proven playmaker. Others will worry about weakening the offense. And that is understandable because trades like this are never easy. They require bold thinking, they require confidence, and most importantly, they require a clear vision for the future. At the end of the day, this decision comes down to one question. Do the Cowboys want to win now or build something strong for the future? Trading George Pickens for the first round pick might not be popular, but it could be the move that changed everything. With more draft power, more flexibility, and more chance to build the defense, this could be a turning point for the franchise. The 2026 draft is coming soon, and if this trade becomes real, it could shake up the entire league. So, what do you think, Cowboys fans? Should Dallas trade George Pickens for the first round pick, or should they keep him and build around him? Drop your thoughts in the new player idea that could completely change the future of this team. Let us begin with one of the most and biggest stories right now. The Dallas Cowboys are strongly considering trading up in the first round of the draft. This is something the team has not done in many years. The last time they made such move was back in 2012. Now, with more draft picks available after the trade involving Mick Parsons, the team finally has the power to make a bold move again. Report says that the owner, Jerry Jones, and his front office have identified 2 top players they are really like. These players are Caleb Downs and Ruben Bain Jr. Both players are considered elite talents and could become stars in NFL. However, there are some concerns. Caleb Downs has had injury worries, especially with his knee, while Ruben Bain Jr. has questions about his physical measurements. Even with these risks, the Cowboys might still take a chance because they need top talent on the defense. Now, let us talk about the biggest problem for the team right now, the linebacker position. After losing key players and dealing with the injuries, the Cowboys are left with a very limited option. One of the few reliable players is Demarshon Overshawn, but even he has not fully taken control of the defense yet. This brings us to an important role called the green dot. This is a player who communicates with the coaches during the game and tells the rest of the defense what to do. Usually this role is given to linebacker because they stand in the middle of the defense and can see everything clearly. Right now, the Cowboys do not have a clear leader for this role, which is a big concern. There is an interesting idea being discussed right now. Could a safety take this responsibility? The Cowboys recently added Jalen Thompson, and he is known for being smart and experienced. Some people believe he could handle the green dot role. However, this is not a perfect solution because safeties do not always play close to the line of the scrimmage. That makes communication more difficult during fast plays. So, while it is possible, it may not be the best option for the team. Because of this, the Cowboys are also looking at free agents. One name that stands out is Bobu Okeleke. He is a proven player with years of experience. He has made many tackles in his career and has already handled the green dot role before. Bringing in a veteran like him could help to stabilize the defense and provide leadership that the team currently lacks. But the Cowboys are not only focusing on linebackers, they are also looking closely at the cornerback position. Defense in today's NFL requires flexibility, and having strong cornerbacks is very important. One player getting a lot of attention is Ovion Tyrell from the Clemson. He recently had a meeting with the Cowboys, which shows serious interest from the team. Tyrell is seen as a player who can solve multiple problems. Even though he is not the biggest player, he is very quick and can play different roles, including nickel corner. This is important because the Cowboys want to keep Dallon Bland on the outside, where he performs best. Coaches believes Brand can shut down one side of the field, so adding a strong nickel corner would make the defense more competent. However, there are still concerns about Tyrell's health. He had a hamstring injury that prevented him from finishing workouts early. The Cowboys are carefully studying this situation before making a final decision. Health is always a big factor when it comes to draft picks. As we get closer to draft, one thing is very clear. The Cowboys are focused on rebuilding their defense. The trade of the Micah Parsons created a big hole, but it also gave the team new opportunities with extra draft picks, possible trades, and free agent option. The Cowboys have many ways to improve. Fans should expect aggressive moves. This could include trading up and signing experienced players and drafting young stars who can make an immediate impact. The team knows that defense wins games, and they are trying to build units that can compete at highest level again. So as the 2026 NFL draft gets closer, excitement continues to grow. Will the Cowboys trade up for superstar? Will they find their defensive leader, or will they surprise everyone with an unexpected move? One thing is certain, the big changes are coming, and the future of the team is being shaped right now. Thank you for watching today. If you enjoyed this video, this update of the Cowboys, and we will break down the latest free agents moves that the team did right, what they got wrong, and the 3 smart signings they can still make while staying under salary cap. So Dallas Cowboys have been very active this offseason. They made several moves in free agents, bringing in new players to strengthen the roster. Some of these moves were exciting, while others raised questions among the fans. One of the biggest additions was trading for Russian Gary. At first, many people criticized this move. Some believed the Cowboys gave up too much for him. However, when you look closely, this trade actually makes a lot of sense. Gary is a strong and consistent defensive player. He fills a major needs on the defensive line, and the Cowboys need help with their pass rush, and Gary gives them exactly that. He is experienced, powerful, and ready to contribute immediately. This was clearly a win-now move for the Dallas. Another area where Cowboys improved was in the secondary. They added players like Jalen Thompson, Kobe Durant, and Delion Kendrick. These are not the biggest names in football, but they bring something very important. such as versatility and depth. The new defensive coordinator, Christian Parker, is known for working well with defensive backs, so these signings were clearly part of the bigger plan. The Cowboys want to build a flexible and intelligent defense that can adapt to different situations. This was another smart move by the front office. However, not everything went perfectly as planned. One of the biggest mistakes the Cowboys made was not re-signing Jadeveon Clowney. Clowney finished last season very strong. In the final games, he showed that he can still be a dominant force in the defense. Letting him go creates a gap in pass rush rotation. Even through the Cowboys added Lashan Gary, keeping Clowney would have made the defensive line very, very strong. This decision is still confusing to many fans, but the biggest concern right now is the linebacker position. The Cowboys currently have a very thin group at linebacker. They have young players like DeMarvion Overshawn, but they lack experience and leadership in the middle of the defense. And this is where veteran players become very important. And that brings us to first potential signing. Let's talk about on Bob Wagner. Bob Wagner is the future Hall of the Fame player. Even at 35 years old, he is still playing at high level. Last season, he recorded over 160 tackles along with the sacks and interceptions. This is incredible production for a player at his age. More importantly, Bob Wagner brings leadership. He understands the game at very high level. He can organize the defense, guide young players, and make big plays when it matters most. For the Cowboys, signing Wagner would solve a major problem instantly. The only challenge is money. He previously signed a deal worth of around $9 million. The Cowboys would need him to accept less to fit under their budget. But if they can make it worth, this would be a perfect move. Now let's move to another position of the need, edge rusher. If the Cowboys do not bring back Clowney, they need another experienced player on the edge rush. This is where Derek Barnett comes in. Derek Barnett is a Super Bowl champion. He has experience playing in big games and strong defenses. Recently, he had solid seasons with the consistent sacks numbers. He may not be a superstar, but he is reliable. He can rotate in, provide pressure, and add depth in defensive line. For a team trying to compete at high level, players like Barnett are very valuable. Again, the question is cost. His market value is not cheap, but the Cowboys can negotiate a lower deal. He could be a smart addition. Finally, let's talk on running back position. The Cowboys already have Javonte Williams, but they still need depth behind him. That brings us to the Hassan Haskins. Hassan Haskins is not a big name, but he is a hardworking and reliable player. He has experience and he takes care of the football. In his career, he has very few mistakes, which is important for the backup running back. He can contribute on special teams and provide support when needed. Most importantly, he is affordable. His contract would fit easily within the Cowboys' budget. That kind of the low-risk signing can quietly improve the team. So, what does all of this mean for the Cowboys?
it means the team is close. They have made good moves, they have improved in key areas, but they are not finished yet. They still need leadership at linebacker. They still need depth on the edge rush. And they still need support in the running game. If the Cowboys can make just a few more smart budget-friendly signings, they can turn this roster into serious contender. At the 2026 season approach, as this season is coming, every decision matters, of course. Will the Cowboys sign Bob Wagner and fix their linebacker problem? Will they add another edge rusher like Delek Barnett, or will they focus on the draft instead? These are the questions that will shape the future of this team. So by now, thank you for watching us. If you enjoyed this breakdown, do not forget to...
It is about Dallas Cowboys possibly making a bold move in the 2026 NFL Draft. Several trusted experts believe the Cowboys could trade up in the draft. And not just any move, they might jump ahead of the New Orleans Saints to get top defensive player. This is exciting, but it also raises many questions. Why would Dallas move up? Who are they targeting? And are the Saints really a threat? Let us break everything down here. We are now only 1 week away from the 2026 NFL Draft. As the draft gets closer, patterns are starting to appear. Experts are studying teams closely and they are beginning to agree on certain ideas. 3 well-known draft analysts have made similar prediction. Mel Kiper Jr. from the Entertainment and Sport Program Network, Danny Bugler from The Athletic, and Toddy Mache from The Link all believed something. They think Dallas Cowboys will trade up in the draft. Not only that, but they believe Dallas will move ahead of the New Orleans Saints to select top defensive prospect. When 3 different experts say the same thing, it gets attention. This is not just a random guess anymore, it is becoming a real possibility. First of all, you may ask yourself, who is the target? The main name connected to this situation is Sonny Styles. He is a linebacker from the Ohio State University. Sonny Styles is seen as one of the most talented defensive players in the draft class. He is strong, fast, and very smart on the field, and he can stop the run, cover receivers, and even rush the quarterback. For the Dallas Cowboys, this kind of the player is very valuable. Team has been trying to improve its defense, especially in the front 7. Adding a player like Sonny Styles could change everything, but here is a problem. Many other teams also want him. At the first, it looks like New Orleans could take Sonny Styles before Dallas has a chance. That is why people are talking about the Cowboys trading up. But when we look closer, things become more interesting. The New Orleans Saints recently lost Mario Davis in free agents. This is a big loss because he was an important leader on their defense. However, they signed Caden Ellis to replace him, and Caden Ellis is not a new face. He was already with the team before and knows the system well. He is expected to play multiple linebacker, especially on early downs. He will also have chances to rush the quarterbacks during the passing plays. In addition, New Orleans Saints already have another linebacker like Peter Weller and Danny Statsman. These players will compete for the starting position. So, when you look at full picture, the New Orleans Saints may not be desperate for another linebacker. That means they might not be the biggest danger to the Cowboys after all. If it is not the New Orleans Saints, then who is the real threat for the Dallas Cowboys on this move? The answer is several teams picking before Dallas. There is strong chance that Sonny Styles will not even reach to the Cowboys pick at number 12. You know that Cowboys number 12 pick, it is their first chance. Teams like Washington Commanders and Kansas City Chiefs and the Cincinnati